Today, we're talking about some massive challenges hitting China right now, from devastating floods and a spreading health crisis at home to heated international tensions abroad. It's a wild mix of natural disasters, public health scares, and geopolitical drama that's got everyone watching closely. Let's break it all down step by step, and I'll share my thoughts along the way. Stick around till the end for some final reflections and a question for you in the comments. First off, let's zoom in on the home front. China is grappling with some of the worst flooding we've seen in years, and it's not letting up. Picture this. Entire regions are underwater, with rivers bursting their banks and communities scrambling to stay safe. Provinces like Hunan, Hubei, Chongqing, Sichuan, Shaanxi, Anhui, and Gansu are getting hammered by relentless downpours. Official reports from state media are warning that from today, August 12th, through the 14th, these areas could see rainfall way above normal levels. That's raising alarms about surging water in major rivers like the Yangtze and Huai, plus smaller streams in hilly zones that could overflow in a flash. The government's on high alert. The Ministry of Water Resources is telling local teams to keep a constant eye on rain and river levels, send out warnings early, and get urban flood defenses in gear. They're stressing evacuations in vulnerable spots to prevent tragedies like the sudden floods that hit earlier this month. Emergency responses have kicked up to level 2 in places like Jiangsu, Anhui, Hubei, and Chongqing, with expert groups rushing to the worst-hit areas to coordinate on the ground. And get this, an orange alert for mountain torrents is active in parts of Hunan, Hubei, and Sichuan, meaning things could escalate fast. Take Gansu province, for example. Since August 8th, brutal rains have unleashed flash floods that wiped out roads, bridges, and whole neighborhoods. Videos circulating online show towns buried in sludge and debris, leaving thousands displaced and in survival mode. Experts are saying more storms are coming, which could chain react into weeks of ongoing chaos. It's heartbreaking to see, families losing everything overnight. What do you think causes these extreme weather patterns to intensify like this? Climate change? Urban development? Drop your theories below. But floods aren't the only nightmare. Down south, there's a serious health outbreak adding fuel to the fire: chikungunya fever, spread by those pesky Aedes mosquitoes. This virus is exploding across regions, turning into a full-blown emergency. In Guangdong, that economic powerhouse, cases are spiking, especially around Foshan, not far from Zhangjiang. Nationwide, we're looking at around 10,000 reported infections in just the past month, and it's showing no signs of slowing. Could easily jump to nearby areas like Guangxi, Hainan, or even spill over to Hong Kong and Macau. For those unfamiliar, chikungunya hits hard with fevers, intense joint aches, rashes, and fatigue that can drag on for weeks. It's rarely fatal, but in a packed, high-energy spot like Guangdong, it's crippling daily life and work. The recent floods? They're making it worse by creating perfect mosquito breeding grounds in all that standing water. Local crews are out spraying chemicals, draining pools, and telling folks to protect themselves, but with people still traveling and trading, containment's a tough battle. This is China's first major run-in with a chikungunya surge of this scale. Scary stuff, especially piled on top of the floods. Makes you wonder if these disasters are feeding into each other, right? Nature's way of throwing curveballs when least expected. Now, shifting gears to the bigger picture, China's not just fighting battles at home. Internationally, things are heating up big time. Tensions in the South China Sea are boiling over after a bizarre incident on August 11th. Reports from Philippine outlets show footage of two Chinese vessels, a Coast Guard ship and a Navy one, actually colliding with each other while trying to confront Philippine boats near Scarborough Shoal. That's the disputed reef China took control of back in 2012. Apparently, the Chinese ships were blocking and using water cannons against Philippine vessels helping local fishermen. In the chaos, they rammed into one another, damaging hulls and sending crew overboard. The Philippines offered help, but it was turned down, and some sailors got swept away. This has sparked massive backlash. Critics are calling it reckless aggression, almost like modern-day piracy ramping up risks in already tense waters. And it's not just the Philippines. China's facing accusations of pushing boundaries with Vietnam, Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea across various fronts. But the real shocker? Even longtime allies are turning sour. Over in Pakistan, protests against Chinese projects are erupting in cities like Gwadar and Karachi. Folks there say initiatives under the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor are benefiting Beijing more than locals, who are losing land, jobs, and their way of life. Fishermen in Gwadar are especially mad about being pushed out of their waters for port development. Things have gotten violent. Roadblocks, fires, clashes with authorities, and chants demanding China back off. It's a bold pushback that's hard to ignore. Then there's Angola, where resentment toward Chinese firms has boiled over into riots. Workers claim exploitation, low pay, harsh conditions, even physical abuse in mining operations. Social media's blowing up with clips of unsafe digs and brutal treatment. Protesters stormed sites, wrecking machinery, torching buildings, and causing huge financial hits. Police couldn't hold the line, and some places were left in ashes. From Asia to Africa, these flare-ups are chipping away at China's rep as a reliable partner, painting it more as an overreacher instead. Wrapping this all up, China's caught in a perfect storm. Floods ravaging the heartland, a virus rampaging south, and a wave of global pushback that's denting its influence. These aren't standalone headaches. They feel interconnected, like dominoes falling in a system under strain. Domestically, without tight coordination, millions could face drawn-out suffering. Abroad, lost trust in key spots might signal a shift in power dynamics. Is this a tipping point for a superpower, or just a rough patch before a comeback? Personally, I see it as a wake-up call, highlighting how internal vulnerabilities can amplify external conflicts. But hey, that's my take. What about you? Do you think China's headed for a downturn, or will they bounce back stronger? Share your views in the comments. If this breakdown got you thinking and you want more no-holds-barred looks at world events, like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps us going with fresh, bold insights. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.